Good morning, everybody. This is COOLA, bringing to you another pre-market prep. This one will be recorded because I will be gone during market open time and trying to get it out there for you. So, doing a little bit extra early, and yeah, we'll just go over what we can. So, clearly, we have some macros coming up today. There's nothing that I can do about that aspect where a lot of times I like plays and stuff like that in there around here, excuse me, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So we're mostly going to go over ranges, maybe some key levels, and stuff like that today. But this data all drops pre-market, and that's not for another couple hours or another about an hour, about a little over an hour now. And then we also have services PMI and factory orders coming out 30 minutes after the open. So keep an eye on this. Today is a short day in the market. Closes at 1 o'clock. Okay, and then tomorrow is obviously we're off, and yeah. So excited for the break, but I know we all love the market, but it is nice to get a break every once in a while. So um, let's look at SPY. Okay, so we can see SPY is starting to break all-time highs here. We're seeing the break. We're seeing the distribution off of the 4 here, and this looks to me another wave here. Okay, so this is the part of an extension. Usually, when we see a pretty good size uh, day like this coming off our daily 4, this generally means that we're trying to make a push into our next key zone. Um, I guess the best way I could say this is we've seen this very similar move right here, right? And then we saw a big move off the daily 4. Thought we were going to get the extension, then we kind of came back and kind of rolled underneath it. Okay, so that can happen. This is talking about the same type of price off of the 20 here as we're starting to see here. So I do think that this will get to a point where it's probably going to be cut off. But we'll take a look at the data and kind of see where maybe that is. So, but right now you just follow the distribution. Okay, don't get clever. Don't think anything like that. Follow the distribution. All right, so we're looking. Before we do that, shout out to the sponsors, Black Box Stocks and Gamma Edge. Without those guys, I would not be able to provide this to you guys every single day for free. So, big shout out to those guys. Make sure you try their services out. The links are in my X bio and my Discord bio and everything like that. So, make sure you go check those guys out. And then let's take a look real quick at the data. Okay, so if we're looking at the full complex of SPX here, okay, so that means virtually all the expirations. We see now that the supply has risen. Okay, it was 6,200, hardline 6,200, but now we're starting to see a increase here in the 6,300 level, and we're really even seeing a pretty decent size all the way up to 6,500. And people are probably like, what? I mean, that sounds pretty crazy. Where do we see that type of level? And then you can also see that this is kind of been sold on right here. So 6,500 at the top, but let's look at where that kind of breaks down at, right? So if we're looking at, let's go mid to short term here. It's nothing here. If I had to guess, it's probably quarterly. Let's look up to this range. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Okay. So this is a quarterly move here. It's probably JP Morgan's. I haven't looked, but it's probably JP Morgan's. and it's pretty significant little short into that range. And there's your, excuse me. And then here's a pretty sizable 6,500. So 6,500 is definitely going to be the absolute top, probably for the year, in my opinion. But you never know. Okay. You never know. But I think that's probably going to be the top for the year. I don't really see it surpassing that, but that's kind of where we're at right now. And so that would be still a pretty significant move, as that lines up with right around probably another 5% on the year. So it's not too shabby, not too shabby. Because currently, let me just do this. I need to do this for myself. If I don't, then I will be just thinking about it. So it's about 10% on the year. Okay. So about 10% on the year. You could see this hard line right here, 475, and look at our test back here, right? So this is annually, 12-month. Look at this hard level right here. This is going to be a tough level to get under. So when we had that big sell down towards this level, you got to think 475 is the low side. So I was buying it up down here near that 480, 486, 489. 489 is really where I got a big chunk of it. And significant level there at that 475 range. So if you didn't know about that, and now you know. Okay, so daily, we looked at that. We started looking at the data, and then I got sidetracked on long term. Okay, let's look today. 6,300 is the high side. And people are like, what? What? I know, sounds crazy, right? It is 6,300 is the high side on today. I don't think we'll see that, but we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case. We see some people selling calls into this range here, negative net delta here at 6,250. We currently stand right at that. 621.17. Let's do the conversion. It's probably somewhere right around 62.30 right now. 61.17. 62.35. So it's right around there. And yeah, it's pretty significant. Pretty significant. But that takes us from saying 62.35 is where we're at. We're over the short, so watch 62.25 be some type of level of support here. If not, if we get below 62.25, I think it's probably a safe bet to short back to 6,200 using this as a hardline stop here. But truth be told, we need to mark this range out. So let's go here. Let's go to SPX. If you guys were monitoring yesterday, we talked about the break over 6,200. We thought maybe we'd get a retest off of this visit here, and it had a really strong sell down here, a really strong sell down, but didn't quite get all the way to the entry. But we talked about making this move up to this range here, and this would be the perfect move. Well, we got the full extension of the range yesterday into close, and yeah, so if you did just get long, and I told you to avoid the 0 day because I thought it would be super choppy, and it exactly was that. God, that price action was just annoying, right? So but if you were in something like a 1 day expiration, you could have made virtually about 50% on a 1 day, and then maybe for a 7 day, maybe about 25% on that move, based on what we're looking at. A sell down into this range. Okay, so where are we at today? Let's go. You ready? This is funny. 6,300. What? Yes, 6,300 to 62.25. So this virtually is a day where, based on what we're seeing, that we're most likely going to be. This is going to go two different ways for me. Okay, we're going to either get all of our data and we're going to be outside this range, which will likely sell us all the way back to 6,200. Remember, I talked about below this area here is likely a short to 6,200. Okay, so I'm just going to put red here, and this is short zone. And you're looking probably for it to target down into this range here. But if, for example, data comes in and it looks great, you're looking for this thing to continue its squeeze up towards this range. And then we talked about a potential hiccup at 62.25, and then a potential key level here on the daily, 62.50. Watch this area here. Let's see if I can get it right. Okay, watch this level here as a potential move right here, and if it breaks over this, then we can absolutely see some type of level of gamma squeeze. And the reason why we're targeting this is because there's clearly someone selling into this range. Will this grow? Will this expand? It's possible. Okay, but this is something where you need to watch this. If we get over the top of this level here, this has the potential gamma squeeze. And this could be just another murderous day like this, just a staircase, right? And this could look like something like this, right? So a potential gamma squeeze into this range. So keep an eye on this, okay? So where I'm going with this is that if we open and we're like right here, it's going to be kind of tough, but you're looking to go long to the upside to there. Or if we chomp and then break below here, watch for a sell down towards 6,200, and then we could see it bought up and retest this zone, or we can see it kind of chopping in this range for the day. I'm leaning more towards if it sells down here, you definitely are looking to buy, maybe avoid any type of 0 day, but yeah, you're looking to buy here because we're starting to see the expansion levels start to target 6,300. So this is a definite buy towards that 6,200 zone if that does break below here and we see some level of selling today. But this is more unlikely than we see the data come out and we sit right here at open. If we get that, then that's going to make things complicated. Watch your range between here, and then you're buying the dip at the bottom of the range like normal, and then you're either playing the full closeout here or you're looking for a potential squeeze towards the top side of that. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. And let's look at SPY real quick. For confluence. So let's do full complex here. 630. I'm starting to see 635, 640. Really nothing as far as the 6,500 level goes just yet on SPY, but we are seeing 630 start to grow. There's a total OI here of a quarter million. We're seeing if that is going to be our next target. It seems like it's going to be, and I more favor towards that 6,300 than I do actually 630 on this visit, but we'll see. We'll see. And it's just like 628 and some change. Okay. So today, range is 617 to 625. So not quite where we're looking at in regards to SPX's data, but does put us right at that zone at that 6,200 level, right? So puts us right in that range. More in line with that. Right here, based on what we're seeing on SPY, we're seeing it right here in the slap, right in the middle of this range. This could be a day, like I said, if it wants to, it can really slap you out, and you need to be really strict on your risk versus reward. Okay, because if you say like you go long and you're in this and we say, oh, we broke below our SPX level and we see the capitulation down towards this level, like I said, this could sit here and not do anything instead of getting that bounce there. So make sure you're setting hard levels for your risk versus reward to get out of that play. And then we'll see if it wants to make that rebound. Let's say like you get out of that, well, great. And then repo for this move down here, looking for that up here. Or like I said, if we get up to that move up here to that 6250 level, then watch for that range between here, and then the breakdown puts you in the bottom of our SPY range here. So hopefully you got the full play there and you understand what we're looking for. Take a look at NVIDIA. Yesterday we talked about the move up towards 157, buying at the bottom of the range here, giving our protection sub liquidity here at 157.39. We had to stop right below this, and this thing jetted off here, and we talked about maintaining this level at 152.5 and looking for the retest at 157.5, and that is exactly, I mean, look at this. Look at this, 157.60, 157.56. Those are getting slapped right on our levels yesterday. So we talked about 157.50 getting hit. That's exactly what happened. And what are we looking at today? Well, let's take a look. Remember that I said that I don't really see it surpassing 160 on the week, and you know, it's losing juice, guys. This is losing juice big time. 160 being a key level here, and I think this could be really insightful one way or another. Okay, so big pivot for NVIDIA, big pivot for the second largest, I believe, right now. Now it might be the largest in the Mag 7. So this is the wind of the Mag 7, and most definitely with Apple kind of falling back. So and Microsoft's right there. So with this being said, this is the win. So over 160 here could really get the market moving, but I don't really see anything that's really pushing us over 160. I think a lot of people are selling into that 160 level with high levels of confidence that there is some type of level of disruption. Okay, so some level of disruption that will probably be coming to those earnings. This week, again, 157 and 156 and 160. You can see 157 has become the barrier, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that move over the top. So let's mark this out. 157 to, what was it? 152.5. So we're there. So this is our range with the top side of our range. You are short at this top side of this range, and you are long over the top of this, aiming for our supply area up here and then to potentially into that 160 range. Okay, so watch this level real tight, and then if we see this thing move below this, especially if we get below this 156.50 level, you're definitely short, but you got to be careful on any type of this is a 0 day on the weekly, right? So be careful that this thing doesn't roll and just kind of chop in this level again for the rest of today. And then if not, then maybe some type of brief sell down, down towards this 155 or 152 level is potential. So if this happens today, that we see the sell down on Nvidia, then watch for the potential 6200 visit. That would coincide with that type of analysis. Okay, so I think this is really important. So when we were doing our analysis yesterday, we talked about virtually we were right in this range, and I said watch for the sell down to come and retest the 310 range, and we came right off that 310 range here and bounced off it. Here's our support, bounced off it and retested into that zone that we're looking for. So it came right to it. That almost pinpointed the future there for you if you did take that trade. So really nice setup, and then kind of bounce between. We're sitting here at 316.40. Let's take a look at the data and kind of see what this looks like. I thought this was a little bit interesting. And when we start seeing big pegs, both sides, this creates a chop and a lot of uncertainty. So larger ranges, stuff like that. So as of right now, we had a massive short at that 310, 300 level, but that has dropped significantly. And we're starting to see a little bit of a transitional zone here at 317.50. So at 317.50, which virtually means if we start breaking over yesterday's high, you're probably going to be looking to go long over over the top of the 317.50. Got to stay. Now this is tricky. Okay, this is a tricky spot, as you have supply here, and you need to stay over the top of 317.50. So truly and honestly, it's not that my favorite setup. There's not a lot of meat on the bone here, as we like to say. But the supply is 325 and demand is 310. So change this out, 325 to the 310, 310. Fine. Okay, so this is kind of where we're looking at. This remains support across, just like we normally say, the bottom of the range, right? That's support. This is resistance. But we're right smack in the middle of it. But our transitional area is 317.5. That is right here. This is your pivot. Okay, so if we get over the top of this, you need to be careful that there is resistance here at 320. And the upside is 325. Okay, so if we open above this pivot or surge above this pivot, watch for our resistance here, and to probably likely retest the pivot and then retest the 320, and then we'll make a decision here whether it wants to squeeze to the top of the range or whether that wants to retest the pivot or even get below the pivot to come and settle out towards that daily 200. So let's take a look at that real quick. Where's that kind of standing right now? Daily 200. Nice little look when you start looking at this. This huge gap down, nice recovery that puts us over the top of the daily 200, over the top of our daily 4, which is something that we look for in almost like a reversal, right? But I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, we have our daily 20 here coming down as well. There's short-term moving averages crossing through some of our potential long terms here. So there's a couple things that this means. If we start to get continuation here, watch for the retest in that 340 zone, 350 zone, and 360 zone. If we start getting a move over the top of this 325, or excuse me, over the top of this 320. If we do not get over 320, I think we need to be watching, as this is a potential little chop zone here, and potentially even and maybe even another further pullback. But as of right now, has a lot of uncertainty. If you remember, we were looking at the data on the full complex, it's really unsure of where to go. And when we have data like this, it just kind of chops around and makes a decision. So there's that. Okay, so we've covered Tesla, we've covered Nvidia, and we have covered the index. I think it's important to understand that today is short, that prices will be significantly. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog dreaming over there, but she's. But pricing will be, especially on 0 days, for if you're playing SPX or SPY, are going to be significantly reduced quickly around, say, that 12 o'clock time, right? So when that hits, you need to be very conscious that prices will be diving 12 o'clock, potentially even to that 11 o'clock hour, where you will quickly lose value. So again, this remains, I would just avoid 0 day today. I need you to just drill that into your mind, put that greed away, be okay with, playing the weekly and having a big move and only making 20%. There is nothing wrong with stacking 25%. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. A smart move, is to do that. Okay. So put your greed to the side and, be logical here. So everything here is about analytics. Everything is about probabilities, and that's all we do. So plan your trade, trade your plan. Okay. Guys, make sure you come and check us out at rawstocksllc.com. That is rawstocksllc.com. If you guys are interested in joining our premium trading group, then use code $1, and you get a free month virtually. Okay. It's just a little bit of a buy-in there, and that just keeps the spammers out. Okay. So, $1 gets you in for $1 for a month. Rawstocksllc.com, or use the link in my bio, and you're going to get access to everything we do. 6 analysts. Yesterday we had 100% win rate. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's the best thing out there. So, in our opinion, when we go and we've seen and we do competitor kind of spying and everything like that, we just gotta get it out there. So hopefully it'll pick up, because there's nobody doing what we're doing. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. Anyways, guys, hey, have a happy 4th. Make sure you spend that time with your family and enjoy yourselves. And God damn it, God bless America. All right, take care. Until next time.